Hello, I'm Rick Butts, the founder of EE Design Tools and the creator of Edestol. In this video, I'll be demonstrating how to install the program and the file management features of Edestol. So let's get to it. All right, let's install the software. Pull up Outlook. You should have received a email that looks similar to this. It'll give you a download link and an activation key. So let's just download it. I wouldn't normally be demonstrating installation, but we're getting some issues, things like this with Microsoft Defender, and we haven't worked them out with Microsoft. We are an organization. We have done code certification. You'll see that when we do setup, but right now we're still getting these, and I wanted to kind of show you if you get something like this that basically says this will harm your device. Just click on these three dots and press keep, and then you'll get another, you may get another, let's see what it says here. It's downloading the installation file. All right, you may, in this case, we only got one of these. The other one I did a while back, and you had to press select keep, but just be aware of that. But when you get the file, just click on open file. There you go. And so you basically got to do more info, run anyway, whatever it takes. You might give it any number of different. So here's where we're at from an installation standpoint. We are a verified publisher, EE Design Tools LLC, and away you go. So that's why I wanted to go through this with you. Okay, we'll press installation. You'll get this install. You'll get a, you don't have to scroll to the bottom, but there's your software user license agreement. Again, it takes a minute or two, but it will complete. And that's about it. So now what you will have, what I would do is just go ahead and copy this license key. And then you'll have your icon over here to run Edestol. So double click on that. And in this case, since this is the first activation, the first time you're running it, you go ahead and paste your Control V and you can activate it now, and you're all set. So here's the program. Ready to run, and we'll get into this in just a second. I want to show you one other thing. If you are participating in the beta, this license key, this activation key is not unique to any one individual, and this is the same download link for everyone. When we get to the point where we start selling, you will get a unique activation key which will be tied directly to you. But for beta, if you know some other contractors, engineers, or designers that you think might be interested, just go ahead and forward this email to them. They can download it, and then we will create a contact in the contact database when they activate the software. We'll know about it, but you can distribute this as widely as you would like, and we would really appreciate you would do so. So appreciate it. Let's move on to the file management file functions right now. Okay, so here you have the program user interface. Before we get into this, I kind of want to show you something here. We're going to go into File Manager, and our standard documents is our default document subdirectory. And what happens when you install the program is you get under your documents, here you go, we're happen to use OneDrive, but if you're just using your standard user, whatever your username is, documents folder, that it'll find that. But whatever your default documents folder is, it will put an Edestol subdirectory there during installation, and it will create the following file subdirectories. One's for backups, so when you run your backups, this is where they'll go. Imports and exports. There's some import utilities for motors and controls right now, and that's where I believe, yeah, we have two default kind of go-by spreadsheets for you already in there. The libraries, this is the subdirectory where we hold two documents or two database files. One's called sysdata, and this is the code information for ampacity tables, for ground cable sizes, for raceway sizes, for all the different things, tables and data values that come from the code that are required by the program, and user data, which is information you can't affect, you can't open or look at or change anything in sysdata, but you can user data, and I'll show that in some subsequent video. I'll show how you can get in there and modify this. This contains information that's related to things that might change, breaker sizes, bus sizes. There's cable dimension information in there. There's adjustable speed drive information. There's voltages, system voltages in there, and this is also where you your report configurations exist here. So we'll look at this in quite a bit of detail down the road, but I just wanted to go through this file structure. And then we have a project subdirectory. This is where your projects will actually be created should you elect to do that, and I'll talk about that here in a minute. And then when you print out any sort of your reports, you'll have a subdirectory. So this is kind of just a whole subdirectory structure that comes with it, so you can look in particular areas for different files. I know when we do significant projects, you generate lots of different reports, lots of different exports, backups, different things, different projects. And I kind of wanted to give you a little bit of an organizational structure. So now let's go over to the program. And so let's just say file, and the first thing we want to do is say new. What it says is do you want to create a project in the existing directory structure? And basically that is the directory structure I just talked to you about, the Edestol projects that's under documents. But if you choose to, let's just go ahead and say, now I've got a client, I want to put all their projects in one particular place. So I'm going to create a new subdirectory and put the project over there. So let's try that. You can also, these user datas, since you have the ability to go in and edit user data, and I'll show you how to do that, it may be that you create different user datas for different projects. You may want specific cables and drives and different things, different report formats and stuff for a particular project. So you have the ability to copy your existing user data. This would come right out of your default libraries subdirectory, and it would copy that along with it. But we're not going to do that right now. So let's just say, okay, we're going to create it. And it goes to our existing projects, but we are going to navigate in this case because it's saying set location for new Edestol project subdirectories. So we're going to go back to documents. We have a customer and they have various projects, and we're going to say technical. And in this case, I've already got a subdirectory, but we're going to do maybe let's go to customer, let's go project 2. And let's just say we're going to just create a new folder. So this is, let's just say this is going to be a new production line in 2025. So what I'm doing is I'm going to put an Edestol, that whole /Edestol and subdirectory substructure right on project 2 there. Okay, we're going to say save. Now what it does is it basically creates that project file. This is the project file. This is what you get. You get a project name, you get a power sub-branch, you get controls, cables, conduits, cable trays, and bills of material. So, and it tells you, here's your project subdirectory. RIC, OneDrive, Documents, Customer, Project 2, Edestol, Project. So if you do a file save as, you can see kind of where we're at. We're down to project 2 and then our new subdirectory structure. So you can put as many projects in here as you want. We just happen to have one created. And then it also references, since you didn't bring the user data with it, it actually goes back to the Documents Edestol libraries and uses that user data file. But you can reference which user data file you're using with this particular project, and each project has the capability of doing that. So there you go on the file new. So let's look at, we have a backup capability. You're familiar with these: save as, close, backup. We have the ability to do different backup. You can back up the file now. Let's just do that. And we'll include the user data file. You can back up on open. You can set it so that every time you open up a project that it creates a backup, and then you could go ahead and edit the new one. Or you could put it some sort of time related. So let's just back up the project file now. We'll press OK, and then basically let's go over to File Manager, go down to Documents, Customer, Project 2, and here's our Edestol subdirectory that we created, and look at in backups, and there you got it. So now you got new production line 2025 there. It gives you a time that we did it, backed it up, and then it also backed up the user data. So this basically, this user data, we'll get into that a lot, but you can be modifying this data, and it just gives you the capability to back it up. So the files aren't that big, as you can see, but there you go. So let's go back to the Edestol project and see what else we got. And then basically you got this little option for settings down here. This gives you some ability to, as it says, adjust programs or settings as required. We use the full range of capability that comes over from the code, and most of the code and opacity tables end with 2000 kc mils. So I've never seen 2000 be used. So rather than having that list come up every time, we give you the ability to specify the maximum size cable that you would want to use under any particular circumstance. You can, for controls, you have different cables. All the different cables are here. We also do minimum size conduit for particular types of conduit. If you wanted to use for PVC conduit, if you just wanted to use full sizes only, you could select that. Then when you get into creating cables and conduits, it will use these values as the minimum or maximum values, depending on what it is, as you select these things. And it kind of really narrows down the selection process, makes it go a little bit slower. So that covers it. If you've seen the demo, you've seen the different parts. You basically have a power tree or branch, excuse me. Here, let's get out of here. You get a power branch, and it comes with one source, and the source is already set to 480 volt. You can select other voltages to begin your projects, but every project comes with at least one source. Then you have a command bar up here. You've got power. These devices you use, as you select power, you get your power summaries here. You get different reports for power. This is all the different possibilities you have for reports that are configured so far. As you click on controls, you get the controls report summaries that you can look at. Cables, I think we have a few more cable report summaries that are specified, and we'll get into all this down the road. I just wanted to kind of get you up to speed on installation and the project itself. The user interface controls, you pick a control, you drag it to controls. Cables are created automatically with a control device or with a power device, but you can also create them manually here. You can create a cable tray, and you would drag that to cable tray. A form would come up. You can do reports, custom reports. Here's our import utilities we talked about, and then a few about features. So this gives you a quick rundown. The next I will be covering, we'll begin with creating a project, moving through that, and showing you all the details of the different components and forms and devices in the next video. So appreciate your attention. Look forward to the next video. I should have it out here real quick. Thanks.